It was the last day of summer before my junior year of high school when my brother broke his neck. He broke his C4 and C5 vertebrae and injured his spinal cord. We were at my cousin's house getting ready to go out on a boat that they had just gotten, and while my uncle was hitching the trailer up to the truck, we were in the backyard playing with the football on the trampoline, and my brother was jumping on the trampoline, and we were throwing the football back and forth, and he was trying to catch it and do a backflip, and one of the times he fell and he didn't get back up. And he was my little brother, so I was always so used to him getting knocked around and always just like springing up. And so, we walked over to him and we were like, "Boats, get up." And he didn't, and we could hear he was saying something, and as we got closer, it sounded like a ghost had taken over his body and was speaking for him, and he was just saying, "I can't move. I can't move. I can't move." My brother made an almost complete recovery. He broke his C4 and C5 vertebrae that day and injured his spinal cord. And the surgeon was saying that he might never be able to walk again or use his hands or even breathe on his own. And now, not only did he walk out of the rehab facility a month and a half later.
Oh yeah. Have a day, Bodes.
Yes, sir, Bodie! Yes, sir!
Yeah. Looking back on this experience for this project now has got me thinking most people don't walk out of a spinal cord injury. Most people are left with some sort of mobility restriction, and for a lot of people that looks like a wheelchair. And so having gone through this whole experience, it has me looking at the world in a different way, and something that I want to explore is what is this experience like for someone at UVM with a mobility restriction? How challenging is it for them to traverse the campus? This brings us here, outside of Innovation, looking at this ramp, which leads up to this door, which conveniently has this button, which opens the door. But you know all of this. You see them everywhere because, especially at UVM, the accessibility needs are pretty good. Like here, and there, there, and here, here, and here. This ramp, which, bides this staircase, and this elevator, which for some reason connects this 5-stair quarter floor increase. There's here, and here. And then there's also here. And then this one, which I bet you actually didn't know about. This is one that I was kind of surprised to find. And here, there's another door, which works perfectly fine. And then there's here. And here. Oh, wait, nope. Never mind, not here. It's in the same hallway, but I guess no can do for the men. And for the most part, our campus meets all of the regulations that are in the Americans with Disability Act, which is a 297-page PDF that I am going to poorly summarize into allow people with physical movement disabilities to enter the same spaces as everyone else without making it ridiculously hard or annoying or frustrating or stupid. And as I walked around campus, I was having trouble finding any places that I think would not meet these regulations. Well, that's until I found Converse Hall, which has stairs leading up to every single one of its entrances. on all four sides, it's surrounded by stairs. Except for this one entrance, which has a ramp down to it. But as I walk down to it, I think you'll notice that there's no button. Which is interesting to me because it's a dorm hall. And I get that you could just not assign someone with a physical disability to this dorm. But what if they have friends there? Or what if someone in the dorm gets injured and is temporarily disabled? This is where we meet our next character, Dewey Hall. That also has stairs leading up to its entrance. Well, two of its entrances, actually. The one on the side is also only accessible by stairs, which means you have to go all the way around back. And there's an upgrade this time because there's actually a button. But as we traverse through this creepy entrance into the basement of a building, an old building, we find ourselves in these tight hallways with lots of corners. And as you traverse the hallways more and more, you find that you run into these double doors, which, again, have no button. And this was the most common complaint about UVM I saw in my search through the internet. I think this for me was a good exercise in empathy, looking at how the world is navigated through the eyes of someone with a physical disability really opened my eyes to what our campus looks like for this. And in the reviews that I was looking at online, a lot of people complained of the bus schedule being inconsistent and hard to read sometimes, and how that can be a huge problem because our campus is on a hill. And so for people with physical disability needs, it might be hard to get from campus to the dorms or vice versa, or to a dining hall or downtown. And, you know, these are things that we don't think about. They completely go over our heads. They're things that we take for granted. And sometimes we are reminded of this when you get an injury that gives you some sort of mobility issue. And that's when you really realize, I think, that you take for granted all of these services that need to be in place for these other people's realities. And yeah, I mean, I think it was a good practice for me. And also, it was fun to look at. It was fun and eye-opening to look at the world through this lens.
Jazz was for ordinary people. Jazz is ordinary people. It's the music of the